Hey guys, so today I wanted to come on here with a special story, Little Miss Penny's adoption story. Since I'm kind of reintroducing myself back to YouTube, I wanted to tell her adoption story because she is just like such a little precious part of my life, and the story is really sweet and I thought you guys would enjoy hearing it. So we've had her for just about a year. We got her October 7th of last year, but the adoption search started probably last September. And I followed a ton of rescues. We lived in Southern California at the time, so I followed a ton of dog rescues and found a dog in particular on Instagram through this one rescue. Went and did a meet and greet, fell in love with the dog, applied for the dog. We actually got denied because Caleb and I were both working full-time at this point, and that's the whole point, that's the whole like reason we wanted a dog, but is because we wanted to be able to come home to a dog and have, you know, a dog to play with in the evenings. Well, we got denied because we worked, so they wanted a stay-at-home dog parent, and you know, maybe for some people that's realistic, but it was not for us. And even this lady that ran the rescue had commented to us, oh yeah, you know, the people who just adopted the last dog that they had adopted out, oh yeah, they came back and pulled up in their Ferrari and you know, the dog was in the front seat, and they were like laughing about it. And I was like, well, I hope that a rescue dog would be fine with my old Acura. So that did not work out. That rescue did not work out. We went to another one. I went to another rescue, looked at dogs, found one that I loved, was gonna go back the next day to adopt it with Caleb, and they opened at like noon, and we got there at like 12:15 and the dog had already been adopted. So that was another adoption fail. I was like beside myself about that one because I really thought that dog was the one. It wasn't. So next weekend, this was like a whole month-long process. Next weekend we went to a shelter, and I was like, I want to adopt a dog today. This was last October 7th. I was like, you know, we have to go to work on Monday. I wanted the dog to have Saturday night and Sunday to kind of like chill and get used to its house, and so we could watch it, see if it's gonna have accidents in the house. So we went to a shelter, and a lot of the dogs went to a high kill shelter. A lot of the dogs hadn't been spayed or neutered yet, so they weren't going to be able to be picked up until later on in the week. And I was like, no, I want to get a dog today. You know, I want it to be able to have the weekend. So we went, took a break from the shelter, and had lunch at our favorite restaurant, Cafe Rio in Southern California, and went to the Friends of Animal Upland shelter. After lunch, a girlfriend of mine had told me to go in there, and we drove out there, started going up and down the rows, and that's when we saw Little Miss Penny. And I'll put her picture in because I took a picture of her in her little kennel before we got her out to play with her, so you guys can see what she looked like. And she was the happiest dog in that kennel. We were like, oh my gosh, she's like wagging her tail, she's like happy to be in here. How like all these dogs look so sad. So we brought her out to play, and her name was Summer, and she was walking outside in the little grass area, and I remember the attendant was like, are you gonna get to go home today, Summer? And I was like, I think she is. And so they're like, okay, let's do the paperwork, and we started doing the paperwork. It was the easiest, smoothest adoption process ever, and then we had her, and we didn't know what we were gonna name her because we didn't like Summer, and we didn't have any of like we didn't have a bed, we didn't have food, we didn't have toys, we didn't have like anything. We loaded her up in the car, and like we went to go buy everything that she needed. And she settled in well, and she never had an accident in the house, still hasn't had an accident in the house to this day. She is they said she was 3 years old at the shelter, but we're not, come here. But we're not 100% sure how old she is because she's got a little bit of white on her face. My mom and dad always joke that she's like 13, but she's definitely not 13, are you, sissy? So they said she was 3, which means she'd be 4 now, but we think she might be like 5, maybe a little bit older. And they said she was a Chihuahua Cairn Terrier, which she definitely has chi in her, but I don't think she's definitely not Cairn Terrier because their hair is like curly. They have like curly hair. She's definitely not that. So I really want to do the DNA test to figure out exactly what she is, because it's so funny everywhere we go, because we take her tons of places, everywhere that allows dogs we'll take her, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, what is she? And we're like, Chihuahua, like world's extra large Chihuahua, largest Chihuahua, because she's when we got her, she was 12 pounds and she was so skinny. I'll put pictures either here or at the end of how skinny she was when we got her. And now she weighs 18. She topped out at 19 and that was when, okay, we need to put her on a diet. So then now she's a comfortable 18 pounds. And so yeah, they're always like, what breed is she? How old is she? And because she's big for a Chihuahua, and she, you know, she's not that Chihuahua looking, but her coloring is pretty Chihuahua looking. The shelter, oh, thank you. The shelter said she was an over-the-counter acceptance. So somebody either found her on the street or brought her in from a bad situation. We're not really sure. I just look at her and I'm like, if you only you could talk. And then I'm like, do you think she would even tell her story? Because she's just so grateful to be with us. She's just the most grateful dog. Every morning she wakes up and she's just like, we say she's got like such an insatiable zest for life, because she like wakes up and she's so happy, just like running around, going outside. She literally dances. She gets up on her back legs and literally dances. So we don't know where she came from or her story, but she's, like I said, she's never had an accident. So I think she might have been in a home, but I'm not really sure because we didn't have to potty train her. Somebody obviously potty trained her, but then she's missing some teeth like right here. So I think maybe she'd been in a cage, chewed on a cage, because she loves to go for, I can't even say it, walkies. And she gets so excited. And so I think maybe because she loves those so much that maybe she didn't get to be outside very much wherever she was before this. Thank you for the kisses. So yeah, that's a little bit about my angel. She has sure blessed our lives and we couldn't be happier with her. So I kind of wanted to do a little public service announcement because I'm kind of a soapbox person on this, you know. If you guys are considering adopting a dog, please, 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 I encourage you to look to your local shelters, look to local rescues before you go to a breeder or before you go to a pet store. There are so many dogs that need homes at shelters and in rescues and in fosters that would be so grateful to have a loving, warm home this winter. And if you can find it in your heart to love a dog that might be a little bit scared or might not look so cute at first, I promise you they will worm their way into your heart and become such a beautiful member of your family. Oh, she's got to go. If you just give them the chance. So down below, I'll list the rescue or the shelter that we got her from and some of the rescues that I was talking about in Southern California. We're currently not living there anymore. So where we are now, I'm not really familiar with any, but all I can say is just, you know, shelters, there's shelters everywhere and they're all full and they all need to be emptied. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and getting to hear a little bit about my little girl, my little sissy girl. She'll be in the back of all my videos. She just likes to sit right up there. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments below and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.